What is up, guys? It's your boy No Risk and No Premium back with another episode of the Market Overview, guys. Today we had the CPI boner candle. Apparently, things cost less. I guess I don't know. Shit still seems expensive to me. Nonetheless, market went up, right? So it doesn't matter what the data says. It just matters how the market reacts to it. Went right to our 4509 level to start the morning off. I'm sorry, right to the 4500 level. Ended up a little bit higher now, trading about 45. 15 here. Really quickly, let's go over what we should expect for tomorrow. Today we had PPI, or excuse me, today we had CPI. Tomorrow we have a PPI. Now, obviously, that's the producer side of things. How much does shit cost for them? Today was the consumer side. How much does it cost for us? So if CPI is down, it's likely that PPI is down as well because businesses typically pass off costs to the consumers, right? So we could see that it might be less for businesses to do business on the PPI number. Does that take us higher? Does it take us lower? I wish I could tell you. I wish I had a crystal ball. I wouldn't be sitting here doing a nightly video if I actually fucking knew exactly what was going to happen the next day in the market, right? All I can tell you is this. We get paid to be professional reactors. I can tell you, though, I do believe we will not get as crazy of a move, right? We won't get as crazy of a move. I mean, I think we gapped up like, 60 handles, ES or whatever off of the data. I don't think that that's going to happen on the PPI. It doesn't mean it can't happen, but it typically doesn't react in such manner. So just pay attention to PPI. That's at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got a knucklehead coming out right here to speak, but we do have business inventories and retail inventories minus autos that do come out tomorrow as well. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 30 minutes after the market opens. So 1 hour before market opens and 30 minutes after the market opens, we are going to have some data to be watching and paying attention to. Onto the charts here. I think 4560 is really the top of this run. I mean, we are just so overextended on the 1 and 4 hours. Doesn't mean we can't go higher, but I do just see this daily supply here. I think this first touch up in this zone up here would likely be a area that we can look for a true rejection, right? I want to see a true rejection in that zone. I'm going to go down to like the 4-hour chart here. Okay, so onto the 4-hour chart, we can see 4560 zone. That's where I'd really be looking for any next reject. If not, as long as 4500 holds, just get long to that level. We need 4500 to break for us to even sniff the downside levels here. Underneath 4500, you guys can see, which is basically the lows today. Underneath 4500, we could watch it move all the way back to about 4435. Okay, so levels tomorrow, right? Levels tomorrow. Let me just zoom in on this little track here for you guys. Levels for tomorrow. Let's see if we can get up here. Okay, let's see if we could get up here to 4560. I look for the reject there. If we hold 4500 tomorrow, look for longs. Underneath 4500, you could target 4480 and then 4435. I would definitely be looking for the strong bounce here at 4435, as that was the previous week high that we ended up breaking out of there. So look for this area here to look for a bounce long. If not, we got 4400 underneath there. Onto the SPY chart here now. We put another gap in on the daily, so we better go up and put a nice little box in there, right? As you can see. Is that? Oh, what the heck? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. My apologies. My apologies. So we're going to want to see that. We've got a major gap here on this daily chart. Still, we gapped up for about 440, 441, all the way up to about 446, and then ran. Look, we closed right around this 448.50 level that we had marked, and we know that that was a big area. If we come back here to this 4-hour chart now, right, we are just kind of dancing around that level all day today. After we got up, we kind of just held it. So 448.50 down to about 448. You're going to want to watch for this zone to see if we are. Let me zoom out and look left here. If we are going to hold this area here, right, 448.50 to 448, watch that zone in there for us to hold overnight. If we do, that's great. We can look for the lift up to about 430. I'm sorry, 453, 454. That's about 4560 on ES. Pretty similar area, not exact, but pretty similar. I'd be looking for that short, this huge double top. I would be looking for that short trade there, but as long as 448 holds to 448.50 holds, look to get long. Underneath 448, look for the gap to get attacked. 446 would open up the gap down to about 441. Huge, huge, huge gap. I think if the Bulls really wanted to keep this show running and really stick it to the Bears, depending on what happens whenever we do want to finally pull back, because all good things, all good runs do have a healthy pullback in them. That's what makes the run healthy. It would fill the gap about halfway, right? About halfway, maybe 444. We could see that was a big level back here to the left. I would watch for maybe not a full gap fill, but just a 444 area to look for the longs right there, right? Look for the longs right there at 444. That could be a sneaky bounce zone, but all the way down to 441 would be the gap fill. So game plan for tomorrow, 448, 448, 448.50. If it holds, 454 is on tap, I believe. Underneath 446, though, underneath 446. Well, underneath 448 would take us to 446 initially. Probably look for the bounce there. And then 444, 441 would be the levels to look for respectfully to the downside. Last but not least, this is not last but not least. I don't know what I'm saying. On to Tech World, on to QQQ. What just happened here? On to the QQQ chart. Let's go to the daily. We'll fill in the gap there because we know we got one. I mean, look at how crazy this QQQ chart is. We had that breakout of the trend line. We notice on SPY we just got the same break of that downtrend line as well. So that's something you want to keep into account, right? Let's see. We got this very nice gap that's working here, almost right back to 387, 388. Sorry, 388, which was the 52-week high, almost back up there. I mean, like, let's be honest here, right? 342 to 386 is 40 points to the upside. Crazy move in 2 weeks. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now, the market will stay irrational longer than you will stay solvent. If you're just shorting everything, it's probably messing with your head, right? It's just this, we're definitely in an uptrend. You got to remind yourself we're in an uptrend. Now, are we getting up to a 52-week high where I believe that we would see a major double top and a major setup for the possible rejection for us to possibly come back down to test 380, 378? Absolutely, right? Look at 388. Look at 388 tomorrow. If we get up there, watch for the possible rejection, double top there. Okay, underneath 383.50 starts the gap fill down to 380 will be my first zone here, and then 378.50 would pretty much almost complete the gap to the downside there. Underneath there, you'd want to watch for 374 on tap. Now, last but not least, IWM. This one's last but not least. Look at this gap and go. Very nice to see here. We're going to zoom in just a tad. We said on the market overview from the other night, had to get above 370. If we did, we're going back 376. Well, we did. Then we went back to 376, broke 376. Where did we go? Right to this gap here at 380. Go figure. Levels, levels, levels. They work. Look for the gap fill up to 380. 380. Pretty much, you can see this gap would get filled. We could remove this and we could draw it just a little bit better if we want to. Okay, we still have this little bit of gap. So 379 to 380 would fill the gap. In there, I would probably be watching if we did fill the gap and continue to go. The big next rejection zone I would be looking at is about 382. You can just come back here and look. We did come down to this zone and break through it to the downside here. So I would look at 382-ish would be my next major level above this 380 zone. Now, if we don't reject there, obviously there is a gap to fill back down to 170. So really the only long trade would be the back test of 176 and hold. Okay. 174 or 170 respectfully. If not, look at 180, 182 to the upside. All right. That's all I got for you guys. We got PPI in the morning, a little bit of data 30 minutes in. And as usual, you got to wake up early, get your levels right, and of course, not do anything fucking stupid. We'll see you bright and early. Peace.